بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم.
شروع اللہ کے نام سے جو رحمان و رحیم ہے.
اقرأ بسم ربک الذی خلق.
پڑھو اے نبی اپنے رب کے نام کے ساتھ جس نے پیدا کیا.
خلق الانسان من علق.
جمے ہوئے خون کے ایک لوتھڑے سے انسان کی تخلیق کی.
اقرأ وربک الاکرم.
پڑھو اور تمہارا رب بڑا کریم ہے.
الذی علم بالقلم.
جس نے قلم کے ذریعے سے علم سکھایا.
علم الانسان ما لم يعلم.
انسان کو وہ علم دیا جسے وہ نہ جانتا تھا.
Assalamu alaikum students. We start our class with the name of Allah who is most beneficent and ever merciful. Students, in the previous video class we have completed our chapter number 3, that was microorganisms and diseases. Now in this 6th video class I am going to start chapter number 4, that is ecology. What is the name of chapter number 4? The name of chapter number 4 is ecology. And what does this term describe? What is ecology? Students, ecology is basically the study of ecosystem. What is ecology? It is the study of ecosystem. And what is ecosystem? A system which is made up of different organisms which interact with one another, as well as they interact with the non-living things present in their surrounding, in the place where they live is called their habitat, and the whole system is called ecosystem. So what is an ecosystem? A system made up of different communities. Here I use the word communities, which means different organisms which interact with one another, and with their non-living things which we also call abiotic factors, like light, temperature, air, water, mineral, pH in their surrounding. That whole system is called ecosystem. What is ecology? Ecology is the study of ecosystem. And what is ecosystem? A system made up of different communities. Different community means different organisms, different living organisms which interact with one another, जो आपस में एक दूसरे के साथ interact करें. There will be a relationship between one living organism and another living organisms. There are different relationships between one living organism and different living organisms, like competition. Some organisms compete for food. This is the interaction between two living organisms. Some organisms compete for the survival, for the mate. Some organisms cooperate as well with one another. So this is also a type of interaction between two living organisms, as well as their interaction with the non-living things. If we look around us, we will find so many non-living things which directly or indirectly affect our body, which directly or indirectly affect us, like air, which is very important for breathing, like water, which is very important for drinking, and all of you know that most of the bodies of living organisms are composed of water, and they perform different functions by the help of that water which is present in their cells. Like minerals are also very important for the growth of different living organisms, like plants, animals, humans. So their interaction, the interaction of different living organisms with other living organisms, as well as with the non-living things, which we are saying the abiotic factors in which are present in their surroundings. So what is ecosystem? A system which is completely made up of living organisms, non-living organisms, and shows their interaction, the interaction between living organisms and the interaction between living organisms and non-living things which are present in their surrounding. This is called a ecosystem. Now I am going to start the main topic of our chapter, which is biodiversity and habitat. Biodiversity. What is biodiversity? The diversity of living things or living organisms exist on the earth. What is biodiversity? The diversity of living organisms which exist on the earth. And what is diversity of living organism? Diversity of living organism is variety of living organisms. What is biodiversity? The diversity of living things which are present on the earth, which exist on the earth. And what is the meaning of diversity of living thing? Means variety of living organisms which are present on our earth. Students, scientists have estimated and discovered about 2 million species, 2 million different species present on the earth. Who have discovered that? Scientists. Scientists discovered about 2 million species that are present on the earth, and these species are not similar. They have different varieties. They include plants, animals, microorganisms, mammals, reptiles, birds, apes, amphibians, and so other organisms. All they are present on the earth, and they belongs to different species. What are species? Species are the living organisms which share similar characteristics, and can interbreed. What are species? Species are organisms that share similar characteristics, जिनके पास सेम एक जैसी characteristics हो, and then they can also interbreed, जो आपस में क्रॉस कर सकें, आपस में जो है वो क्रॉस करने के बाद न्यू organisms को प्रोड्यूस कर सके. These organisms are called species. So in our earth, scientists have been discovered about 2 million species, and all these species are different from one another. So what we are going to study in this chapter? We are going to study in this chapter how different organisms interact with each other, how in which environment they live, how they interact with the non-living factors which are also present in our environment. So species are the living organisms which have similar characters and can interbreed with one another. What is the place or in which environment they can survive? They need a place to live, they need a place to grow, they need a place to reproduce. And what does this place is called? This place is called their natural home. So the natural home of all the living organisms is called habitat. So now next topic is habitat. What is habitat? A habitat is called a natural home for all the living organisms. Every living organism needs a home to live, to reproduce, and for their survival, and these natural homes where they live, reproduce and survive is called their habitat. Another definition of habitat is a place where organisms can live and reproduce and also survive. A place where where organisms can grow, live, reproduce and survive, that place is called their habitat. If we talk about the human being, we live in houses, we live in different buildings. So this place is our habitat, where we can grow, where we can live, where we can reproduce and survive. What is the meaning of reproduce? Reproduce means process which takes place in the living organisms in which they produce similar organisms, in which they produce the offsprings which are exactly alike them. एक ऐसा process जिसमें एक living organism एक ऐसे living organism को produce करे जो बिल्कुल उसकी तरह का हो, that living organism is called offspring, which is produced by their parent, and the process is called reproduction. This happens in all type of living organisms, either they are plants, they are human beings, they are animals, birds, mammals, reptiles and so on. So why do plants, why do animals, why do human beings need a habitat? They need a habitat to grow, to live, to reproduce and to survive. There are so many examples of habitat like forest, tree, pond, lake, ocean, grassland, garden, etc. If you look at this diagram is showing a ocean ecosystem, a system which is made up of plants, animals and other living organisms. So what is the habitat of this ecosystem? The habitat of this ecosystem is ocean. What is the habitat of this ecosystem? The habitat of this ecosystem is ocean. And which type of different living organisms are found here? There are some fishes, some corals. Corals are also the animals which secrete some chemicals like calcium carbonate, which makes them hard. There are some plants which are also present in the ocean. In ocean, students remember, there are some microorganisms are also present. So these are the different organisms which are present in the water, and that water is their habitat. Alright, so and these organisms, we can say that they are different communities. These fishes interact with one another, as well as they also interact with this water. How this water interact with the fishes? Fishes can get dissolved carbon from the water and dissolve oxygen from the water for the breathing. And what does plants get from this water? Plants get dissolved carbon from this water, and by using this carbon and water they make their own food. In this way you can see that the water, which is a non-living thing, and the animals, which are the living things, interact with each other, as well as there are so many microorganisms which are present in this water, which is eaten by different fishes, which are eaten by different animals which are present in the ocean. This is the interaction between living organism and living organisms, because microorganisms like Euglena, Paramecium, as well as amoeba, they are also micro living organisms which are found in water, and they are also eaten by the different organisms which are present in ocean. In this way, the living organism and living organisms are interacting with one another, as well as by the water, which is a non-living factor, and the fishes and other organisms which are present in the water, like aquatic plants, aquatic animals, they are dependent on water for different gases. Like plants depend on water for dissolved carbon dioxide gas, as well as animals depends on water for dissolved oxygen for their breathing processes. Now come on again our main topic, that is the habitat. So what is the habitat in this ocean ecosystem? The habitat in this ocean ecosystem is ocean for different plants, for corals and for fishes. Now a habitat provides food, shelter and also protection from predators. This is also an important factor related to the habitat. What does it provide? It provides food. Like if a animal lives on a tree, or if a microorganism lives on any plant or any other dead organism, then that dead organism or the plant provides food to the microorganism. They also provide food for the different fungi. Fungi are also lives on dead and waste matter. This dead and waste matter, which is also a habitat for the microorganism like bacteria, for the microorganism like microscopic fungi. They live on dead and waste matter. This dead and waste matter is providing food to the microorganism, fungi and bacteria, as well as it provides shelter, because they live on that dead or waste matter. All right. In this way, what does this dead and waste matter provides? Fungi and bacteria, they provide food, they provide habitat, they provide shelter, and as well as protection from other living organisms. Now the next topic is population. We have completed our first topic, that is habitat. Now I am going to start next topic, that is population. Students, as I told you earlier that in our environment, scientists have been discovered 2 million species. So all the species are not alike. तमाम की तमाम species एक जैसी नहीं है. So we can categorize them on the basis of populations as well as on the basis of communities. What is population? As all of you know, there are so many living organisms present on the earth. So organisms of same kind live and reproduce in a particular habitat is called population. So what is population? Group of organisms of same kind. If all the organisms of same kind are living in a group, then this group of organism which lives in a particular habitat, in a one habitat, in a same habitat, is called population. Like we have rose population in garden, and all the flowers or all the plants are the red roses plant. If all the plants are red roses and there is no sunflower plant, there is no water lily, there is no any other type of plant, then this will be called a population, which we also say that it is a rose population. Similarly, we commonly observe ants population, because ants are also live in the form of colonies. They are social insects which lives in the form of groups. So this group is called a population because they are all same type of living organism, and they are living in a same habitat. That's why they are also called a population. Similarly, there are some micro organisms like bacteria. They also lives in colonies, so that's why they also we can also say that they are the bacterial populations. After population, we have the next topic, that is community. What is community? Community is basically group of different populations. What is community? Group of different population or group of different organisms live and reproduce in a particular habitat. What is community? Group of different populations as well as group of different organisms lives and reproduces in a particular habitat. Means there are different living organisms, there are different populations which share different characteristics, but they live in a one particular habitat, and that one particular habitat will be called the community. In your book there are different communities like garden community, pond community, field community and seashore community. We will discuss one by one these different communities, but before starting these different communities you have to remember a major or a basic difference between population and community, and that is population is a group of same kind of living organism. What is population? Group of same kind of living organism, same group of organisms of same kind, as well as if we compare the population with the community, then community will be a group of different population or a group of different kind of living organism. This is a basic difference. In population, organisms share the same habitat, but all the organisms are of same kind. In community, organisms again share the same habitat, but these organisms are of different kinds. Like there will be different plants, there will be different types of animals, as well as there will be different types of microorganisms. So the first community we have garden community. Garden community is made up of plants population, animals population, and all these plants and animals present in the garden community will be different. Like in a garden we have orchard plant, trees, palm trees. So they both are different plants, but they are present in a same habitat, as well as we have different animals like ant, bees, beetles, grasshopper, spider, as well as a snail. So these are all different animals. You can see ant, bees, beetle, grasshopper, spider, snails. All these are the different types of plants, but they are living in a same habitat, and their habitat is garden. Different plants like orchard plant as well as palm trees, they are also present in garden. Ant, bees, beetle, grasshopper, spider, snails, all these are different animals, and they are also lives in a same habitat. Now this habitat will become a community, and it will be called a garden community. So a garden community is a community which is made up of different populations like plant populations as well as animals population, and all the plants and animals are different from one another. Next we have pond community. A pond community is a community which is made up of plants population, animals population, and microorganisms population. And you can see in your book page number 76, you can see this pond community which are showing different plants which are present in a pond community like duckweeds, water hyacinth, water lettuce, water lily, lotus, hydrilla, cattail, as well as arrowhead. It has also different kinds of animals like koi fish, water snake, dragonfly, dragon nymph, terrapin fish, water boatman, and great diving beetle. This pond community is also showing some microorganisms like Spirogyra, Paramecium, Diatom, and Euglena. There are some also water animals are also present, which are back swimmer, tadpoles, and water spider. As you can see, all these organisms are different from one another, but they are sharing a same habitat, and their habitat is pond. What is their habitat? Their habitat is pond, means different populations. We have seen different plants, different animals, and different microorganisms which are living together, interact with each other, and living in a particular habitat, and their particular habitat is pond. So we can say that it is a pond community. Now next we have field community. Field community, a community which is made up of different plants as well as animals population, and all these plants and animals are present along with the field or across the field. So these communities, this type of community is called field community. And in field community we have different plants, as you can see on page number 78. This is lilac plant, mimosa, kalinga, cupid, shaving brush, love grass. These are the plants which are present along with the which are present in field community. There are some animals are also present like grasshopper, snake, snail, snake, earthworm, millipede, termites, ants, and wood lice. These are the animals which are present in a field community. The next one is seashore community, and seashore community is made up of different plants population as well as different animals population. And which type of plants are there? Seaweeds. Which type of animals present in seashore community? They are turtles, seagull, shellfish, and starfish. So as you can see, all these are the different organisms, all these are different plants and different animals which are sharing a same habitat, which are living and reproducing in a same habitat, and that habitat is seashore. So that's why it is called seashore community. Now the next topic is environment. What is environment? The factors present surrounding the living organisms which affects their growth, development, and survival make the environment. So what is environment, students? All the factors which are present surrounding the living organism, or we can say that the surrounding of a living organism which is made up of living things as well as non-living things. This is the environment of that living organism. The basic definition is the factors present surrounding the living organisms which affects their growth, जो उनकी growth, उनकी reproduction और उनके survival पर असरअंदाज हो, that affect the growth, reproduction and survival of the organism is called their environment. So in simple we can say that environment is, it is made up of two factors, abiotic environment or abiotic factor biotic environment. Environment, it is made up of abiotic environment or biotic environment. What is abiotic environment? Abiotic environment basically an environment which is made up of 6 physical factors that affects the growth, reproduction and survival of the living organisms which are living in that environment. Biotic environment is made up of all the living things which affect living organism in any way. Abiotic environment is made up of 6 physical factors: light, temperature, water, mineral, pH and air. All these are the non-living things which affect the growth, survival and reproduction of the living organism which is present in the environment. Whereas biotic environment is also a part of an environment which is made up of living organisms which affect the life of other living organisms in any way, by competition, by cooperation, by food relationship, by predator-prey relationship. These are the different interactions in which one organism can affect growth, reproduction and survival of the other organism which is also present in the environment. This is called biotic environment. Now I am going to start abiotic environment and we will discuss all the 6 physical factors. Abiotic environment. Abiotic environment made up of 6 physical factors. The first one is the first one is light. Students, all of you know that light is very important for the survival of living organism. Like plants need light for photosynthesis as well as humans need light for visionary purposes, need light for photosynthesis. Why do plants need light? Plants need light for photosynthesis, a process in which they make their food by the help of sunlight, as well as other animals. They also need sunlight for visionary purpose, because light is a form of energy which help us to see different things. Students, there are there is a fact that all the organisms can never be suitable to adopt all type of environment. Means तमाम तरह के living organism एक ही तरह के environment उनको suit नहीं करता. कुछ organisms ऐसे होते हैं जो उस environment में survive नहीं कर पा रहे होते हैं. So these organisms has to adopt its environment by developing certain physical behavior or certain adaptational features. Means they have to develop behavioral changes, they have to develop certain structural changes to survive in that type of environment which is not best suited to their bodies, which is not best suited for their growth. So what they will do, they will adopt some behavioral changes as well as they adopt some structural changes in their body to cope with that environment, and these structural and behavioral changes are called adaptations. So what adaptations those living organisms will take which are light sensitive and which needs light. Now I am going to show some organisms which take some adaptations to survive in difficult environments. Number 1 is creeper vines. Creeper vines are the plants which are living in a dense forest, which are living in a tropical rainforest. These plants does not directly get the sunlight. So what they will do, they will change their body, they will grow clasping roots, tendrils, or they will twine around stem. These are the structural as well as behavioral changes. وہ clasping roots بنا لیتے ہیں, tendrils بنا لیتے ہیں which penetrate inside the tree on which they are living and get their food from them, or they will twine around the stem and reach to the height where they get more and more sunlight and perform the process of photosynthesis. Next we have earthworm. Earthworm is a living organism which lives in a dark places. It is a light sensitive living organism. What adaptation they have? They have sensitive cells. These sensitive cells on the body can detect the light. Whenever they are exposed to light, these sensitive cells detect that light and they move towards the dark places and where they can easily survive. Next we have fireflies. Fireflies are the living organisms which produce light. They produce light to find their food, to find their way, to find their partners, which we also call mates. It means light is important for the fireflies. If fireflies does not produce light, they will not survive, they will not grow, they will not find the food. Similarly, there is another organism that is angler fish. Angler fish is a type of fish which produce its own light, and this light will help the angler fish to find fruit, to confuse their prey, and also to find their partner. So for the angler fish, light is also a very important factor. Some animals which we call nocturnals. Nocturnals are those living organisms which become active at night. It is also a type of behavioral change or a behavioral adaptation. What are nocturnals? Nocturnals are the plants which are light sensitive and become active at night. It includes fireflies, bat, and owl. We have already discussed about the fireflies. What type of physical or adaptational features bat have? Bat have sensitive ears. Bats cannot, they do not have eyes, they have sensitive ears which help them to hunt in the darkness. It means they cannot hunt in the light. Okay, light is not sufficient for them. As well as owl. Owl has a sensitive eyes which can see in a very little amount of light. In a very bright light, they are unable to see. So you can see that light is also affecting the life of bat as well as the life of an owl. The next physical factor is temperature. Temperature is also important for the growth, survival, and as well as reproduction of the living organism. Most of the living organisms active between 10 degree centigrade to 45 degree centigrade temperature. This temperature range shows that if the temperature falls below 10 degree centigrade, it will affect the growth, survival as well as reproduction of different plants and animals as well as different microorganisms. Or if the temperature rises above the 45 degree centigrade, it will also affect the growth, reproduction and survival of organisms. So most of the organisms becomes active. Most of the organisms active at temperature between 10 to 45 degree centigrade, but there are some other organisms which are living below freezing temperature, at the freezing temperature as well as in a hot spring. Some organism lives at freezing temperature. For example, Antarctic ice fish. If you kept the Antarctic ice fish in a water that have temperature above freezing point, then it will be difficult for the Antarctic ice fish to live. So this temperature is specific for the growth, reproduction and survival of Antarctic ice fish. They can live at freezing temperature or below the freezing temperature, as well as some organisms live in extreme high temperatures. For example, Pompey worm. Pompey worm lives in hydrothermal vent at above 80 degrees centigrade in Pacific Ocean. So if we kept this if we kept this Pompey worm and shift them in a water which have freezing point, freezing temperature, then it will be difficult for the Pompey worm to live, as well as if we shift the Antarctic ice fish in this hydrothermal vent, then it will be impossible for the Antarctic fish to live. So we can say that temperature affects the growth, development and survival of living organisms. Adaptations. What adaptations different animals take to survive in an environment which is not suitable for them? The first adaptation is in winter season. Plants shed their leaves. Why plants shed their leaves during winter season? When there is a period of drought. Drought is a period in which a less supply of water in the surrounding or less amount of humidity is present in the air. In that period, this period is called drought period, and in this drought condition, plants shed their leaf to reduce the loss of water. ताकि उनकी body से कम पानी ज़ाया हो, they will shed their leaves, because leaves are the main source of transpiration in which plants lost their water. The second one is hibernation. What is hibernation? Hibernation is a sleeping state. Hibernation is a sleeping state in winter season. To reduce metabolic activities, to reduce body temperature, as well as to conserve energy. What does different animals do? They hibernate themselves, they cover themselves in a mud during winter season and undergo in a sleeping state, that's called hibernation. What they do during hibernation? During hibernation, their metabolic activities means breakdown and making of food will become slow, as well as their body temperature falls down, and they use their conserved energy until the temperature becomes normal. This type of adaptation is called hibernation. Which type of organisms do it? Like frog undergoes hibernation in winter season, as well as bear undergoes hibernation in winter season. They cover themselves in a mud and undergo a sleepy state in which they use their reserve or conserve energy and survive till then the temperature becomes normal. The third one is some animals migrate from cooler north to warmer south. Organisms which live in northern areas where temperature falls down below freezing temperature, they will migrate from north to warmer south areas to spend their winter season. When the temperature becomes normal, they went back to the northern areas. This is also another way to survive in winter season. The next one is thick layers of fat and feathers and also fur. Some animals have feathers, furs and thick layer of fats which act as insulator. Means they reduce loss of body temperature. They trap the air, they trap the colder air and maintain the body temperature by reducing the loss of body temperature. Body का जो temperature होता है उसको maintain रखने के लिए different animals have thick layer of fat as well as fur and feathers. Polar bear present in Antarctica. If you see the polar bear which is found in Antarctica, it has feather or fur which kept them warm during winter season. It also has a fat layer which also keep them warm during the winter season and maintain their body temperature. What happened during summer season? What kind of adaptations animals or plants take during summer season when there is a very high temperature? Adaptation during summer season. The first one is animals become nocturnal. As I have already told you, nocturnals are those living organisms, nocturnals are those animals which becomes active at night. So in deserts, temperature during day reach to 50 degrees centigrade, and at that temperature most of the animals becomes inactive. So the organisms which we call nocturnal, they come out, nocturnals comes out from the burrows at night to look for their food. Alright, and what kind of animals these are? For example, snakes and other reptiles. They comes out from their burrows at night when the temperature falls down. The next one, third physical feature, that is water. As all of you know that water is also very important for the survival, for the growth, for reproduction of all the living organisms. Most of the living organisms, about 80% living organisms, or more than half of the species are found on the earth. On tropical rainforest. Why tropical rainforests have more than half of the different types of species on the earth? Because they have wet and warm environment, they have heavy rainfall, so they contain more than half of the species of the present on the earth, and they cover 10% of the land surface. What they covered? They covered 10% of the land surface. So we can say that most of the plants or animal species are found in tropical rainforest. It has wet and warm temperature, contain more than half species on and cover 10% of the earth surface. As all of you know that water is very important for the plants as well as animals and other living organisms. What happens if there is a less supply of water? In this condition, either they are plants or animals, they will take some adaptations. And what type of adaptations they will take? The first adaptation they will take is Estivation. What is estivation? A state of being inactive and dormant during summer or dry season. When there is a shortage of water, some organisms becomes inactive and dormant. For example, lungfish. Usually fishes have gills to take oxygen, to take dissolved oxygen for respiration, but lungfish is a special kind of fish which have lungs, and by the help of these lungs they will breathe. What does lungfish do during summer season? Lungfish bury themselves in a mud and secrete a mucus which covered around it, and this lungfish uses the reserved energy which is stored in their body and breathe with the help of lungs and survive in this condition for few months. This is the adaptation that lungfish will take during a condition in which there is a less supply of water, when there is no water in the river. The next adaptation that desert animals will take what adaptation desert animals will take? During drought condition, during dry condition, during very high temperature, the first animal that is camel. All of you know that camel stores water for weeks. It will store water which they can use for weeks. The second one are rodent animals. Rodent animals are those animals which burrow the soil, which burrow the desert sand and lives in them, as well as they obtain water from the food. From food they eat and excrete concentrated urine. They will pass concentrated urine to reduce the loss of water, because in desert there is a less supply of water. If there is no water, then they obtain the water from the food which they eat, and the examples of rodents are squirrels. And other adaptation which desert insects took, desert insects have thick skin which reduce loss of water. Camels stores water for weeks. Rodent animals obtain water from food, and desert insects have thick skin which reduce the water loss in a condition when there is less supply of water, and this condition happens in the deserts. What does deserts plant do when there is a less supply of water? What adaptation deserts plants would take when there is a less supply of water? There is a less supply of water. The first adaptation the desert plants will take is leaves becomes smaller in size. Leaves becomes smaller in size means if a leaf have a smaller surface area, then the rate of transpiration will also reduce. What is transpiration? A process in which plants excrete excess water from the stomata. These are the openings which are present on the surface of the leaves. If the surface area of the leaves will reduce, then the amount of water which is excreted during the process of transpiration will also reduce, and plant can store the water. The second one is long, deep roots. This is the structural adaptation. Desert plants develops a long and deep root which penetrate inside the soil and absorbs the water if it is present inside the soil under a very depth area. They also have some shallow roots. Shallow roots are present on above the soil. If it is a plant, this will be the deep root, and if the roots are present above the soil like this, this will be the shallow roots. And how does these shallow roots help? These shallow roots absorbs the water if in rainy season. In rainy season, or when dew appears in the surroundings of the plant, then this shallow root will absorb the water which is present above the soil. Another feature is thick and succulent leaves. The leaves of desert plants are thick and have succulent tissues. What are succulent tissues? Succulent tissues are those tissues which absorbs water, which stores water and retain the water to release from the leaves. They also have needle-like leaves. These needle-like leaves also like that. These are the needle-like leaves which reduce the loss of water. So these are the adaptations which plants and which plants took place which plants take in desert environment where there is a less supply of water as well as high temperature. The fourth physical feature is minerals. Students, you have already taught about the minerals in chapter number 1 in very detail. Here I am going to give you a very short or a brief description about minerals and how they affect the growth of plants as well as animals. Minerals are needed by plants for healthy growth. Plants की healthy growth के लिए they need minerals. Why plants need minerals? They need minerals for their healthy growth. For example, nitrate. Nitrate is a compound which is present in soil. Plant absorbs nitrate to make proteins, and we use plant as a food. What does plant needs? Plant needs nitrate, which is a type of mineral. Why do they need nitrate? Why do they need this mineral? They need nitrate to make protein, and we need food, we need plants to take these kind of minerals from them. Okay, if there is less supply of minerals, if there are less amount of minerals present in the soil, then what we can do? We can add fertilizers in the soil. If there is a less supply of, if there is a less amount of minerals present in the soil, then we can cover this condition by adding fertilizers in the soil. Then the plants will get fertilizers from the soil. How does animals get minerals? Animals get minerals from food and water. Water have dissolved minerals. When we drink water, we receive the mineral from that water in which dissolved minerals are present, and in our food there are so many minerals like iron, which is present in green vegetables. We can get calcium, which is present in milk. Okay, so this is a mineral. These are the minerals which affects the growth of animals as well as the growth of plants. If plants do not get sufficient amount of mineral, their growth will be affected, as well as if we do not get sufficient amount of mineral, like if we do not get sufficient amount of calcium, our teeth as well as our bones becomes weak, as well as if we do not get sufficient amount of iron. So the process of making red blood cells will be affected. So we can say that minerals affects the growth of plants as well as the growth of animal. Mineral is a non-living thing, whereas plants and animals are the living organisms. The fifth one is pH. What is pH? pH is the acidity or alkalinity of a substance. The acidity or the alkalinity of a substance is called pH. pH basically determines the type of substance, either it is an acidic substance or it is a basic substance, and in environment it describes the type, it determines the type of organism, and environment in which they are living. What does pH? It determines the type of organisms as well as the environment in which they live. Most of the organisms lives in neutral and slightly alkaline environment. What is neutral environment and what is alkaline environment? The fresh water has pH about 7, it means it has neutral environment. Marine water has pH about 8, it means it has alkaline environment. So the pH describes the environment as well as the organism, as well as the type of organism. If we shift the plants of acidic and if we shift the plant of neutral environment into the alkaline environment or alkaline environment to the neutral environment, it will be difficult for them to survive. pH for plant is slightly alkaline, but there is a plant which lives at both alkaline and acidic environment, and that is hydrangea. It lives both at alkaline environment as well as acidic environment. In alkaline environment it gives blue flower, it gives pink flower, and in acidic environment it gives blue flowers. Okay, what we can do to maintain the acidity of the soil, because plants, most of the organisms cannot live in acidic environment. Organisms cannot live in acidic environment. What we can do? We can add lime water and calcium oxide to neutralize the soil. What we can do to convert the acidic environment into neutral environment or neutralize it? We can add lime water and calcium oxide to convert the acidic soil into a neutral soil in which a plant can easily live. The next physical factor we have is air. Air is a mixture of gases. What is air? Air is a mixture of gases. Most of the living organisms, either they are plants or they are animals, they need oxygen for aerobic, cellular respiration. Animals get O2 from air, and aquatic animals get dissolved O2 from water, whereas aquatic plants get dissolved carbon dioxide from water. Animals get oxygen from the air, like human beings get oxygen from the air. If there is less amount of oxygen, it will be difficult for the humans to live, to survive. As well as aquatic animals get dissolved oxygen from the water, whereas the aquatic plants get dissolved carbon dioxide from the water to perform the process of photosynthesis. What happened if there will be a change in concentration of dissolved carbon dioxide and dissolved oxygen in the water? It will be difficult for the plants as well as animals which lives in water to survive if the concentration of carbon dioxide and concentration of oxygen changed. They will not survive, they will die. Here is an animal which takes adaptation if there is a less supply of water, if there is a less supply of oxygen in water. It is a rat-tailed maggot. This rat-tailed maggot lives in warm, polluted water, and this warm polluted water has less oxygen. So what rat-tailed maggot will do? It has a long breathing tube. What does it have? It has a long breathing tube. It will get out its long breathing tube from the surface of the water and sucks the oxygen present in the air. So this is a structural adaptation which this rat-tailed maggot adopt to live, to survive in a warm polluted water which has less oxygen. Students, now you can understand easily how different non-living things can affect the growth, survival and reproduction of the living organisms. We start from the light. Then we study, then we discuss about temperature, water, mineral and pH. We have discussed in detail how light, temperature, water, mineral and pH affects the growth, survival and reproduction of living organisms, and how does different living organisms cope in the environment when there is a less supply of water, when there is any change in the environment which they have to cope. So they took some behavioral as well as structural changes which we call adaptations. I hope you have understand all the points. We started our class with the habitat. We have discussed in detail what is habitat. a place where an organism lives and reproduces. Then we have discussed about population, a group of living organisms of the same kind living in a particular habitat. Then we have discussed about the community, a group of different populations or different organisms lives in a one habitat. We have discussed 4 types of communities: garden community, seashore community, field community, pond community. Then we have discussed the definition of environment and the 2 types of environment, biotic environment as well as abiotic environment, which make up the environment. And after that we have discussed about the abiotic environment, which is made up of 6 physical factors, in which we have discussed that how these 6 physical factors affects the growth, life and survival of the living organisms, and how the organisms cope if the environment is not suitable for them. I hope you have understand all the points. Now note down your diary. Related to lecture, draw a chart showing 2 different communities of your own choice. Copy work. Do question number 1, 2, try it out, page number 77. And think about it, page number 89. What is question number 1? Question number 1 is, what is habitat? You will write the definition of habitat, give an example of a habitat and name 3 types of organisms living in it. You will write the name of habitat in which 3 different types of living organisms are found. Then what is the question number 2 is, what is mean by environment? What makes up biotic and abiotic environment? You will write down the definition of environment, biotic environment, abiotic environment from the content solution, page number 90. Then you will do question number 3, and in question number 4 they are asking define population, community and give 3 examples of population. In a coral reef community, you will write the question from this page and you will copy the answer from the content solution, page number 91. Then you will do try it out of page number 77, and that is, what makes up a pond community? Pond community किन चीज़ों से मिलकर बनती है? Identify the types of population, 3 types of animal population and 3 types of plants population as well as 3 types of microorganism population, which is the answer of try it out question number 3. And think about it, page number 89. They are asking you, study the 2 leaves, which plants live in, study the 2 plants above, which plants live in desert. There are 2 plants, bird's nest fern and agave. As you can see, the bird nest fern has thin leaves, whereas the agave have thick leaves and have spines. So agave is a plant which lives in desert. You will copy the answer from content solution, page number 91. I hope you have understand all the points. If you have any problem, then watch the video again and again. We will meet in the next video with the next topic, that is biotic environment, and inshallah we will complete our chapter in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself, do complete your work with proper index. Your copies will be collected from first week of the September. Complete your work, maintain your index properly with date wise, and also make a impressive title pages of all the chapters. Okay students, we will meet in the next video. Till then, Allah Hafiz.